Hello, hello, hello. You're listening to Conscientious Conversation. And I'm your host, Will Prophet. I hope your day is going well. I hope your day is nothing less than worry-free. And I do hope that you're getting the most out of your day. In this episode of Conscientious Conversation Moments, I wanted to just talk about not, half doing or not being fully committed with something. So you're trying to get something accomplished, and you're half doing it, or you're doing it with hesitation or what have you. If that's the case, you might as well not do it at all. You might as well stop and not do it at all. It's like a cake, right? It's like you half baking a cake or you half cooking some food. Nothing really good can come from it. Either you're going to have a bad experience, depending on the type of food, right? You're either going to have a bad experience and you're going to get sick from it, or if it's something like a cake or something, I'm thinking you're not going to necessarily get sick from it, but it's just not going to be an enjoyable experience. Anything worth doing is worth doing right. And so just, like I said, if you're doing something and you're half doing it, just stop. And if it's time that's not on your side, it's like having someone rush. You've ever been someplace and you're right there before they're closing, or you're right there when the guys, let's say you pull up to a mechanic shop or something like that, and you're trying to oil change or something like that. You're trying to get it done before they get out of there. Usually nothing good can really come from that, because the mindset is not there, that you're not getting the best of that. Most of the time, anything that's like a rush job or something like that. Don't get me wrong. I understand some things that, you might be on a time restraint or something like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about more to the point of, if you're doing something and you're kind of half doing it, or you're kind of doing stutter steps or something like that, because you're not fully committed to doing it. It's better to put that stuff off until you do have time, or until the next day when you can spend time on it. I am a big believer in not waiting tomorrow what you can do today. However, if you have to wait until tomorrow to do it right, rather than to half do it today, then do it tomorrow. So that's really what I wanted to get into today. From a standpoint of quality, you should have a quality or standard to whatever you do. You should have a somewhat work ethic to whatever you do. And you should always show that the respect of, how you want, what a person is paying for, how you would want it perceived. And the biggest part about that is that a lot of us, we have the tendency, especially nowadays, everybody's in a rush, everybody's in a hurry. A lot of us, we just want to get it done. We just want to get it done. And there's a new thing going around where it's not really getting it done, it's getting it started. So you want to start on it. You want to be able to say, oh, I started on that. And like I said, it's just not one of those things. It really comes down to, you got to value yourself. You really do. You got to value yourself. And so, And you got to value the work that you do and the quality of that. And so that's the takeaway. So you've been listening to Conscientious Conversation Moments, and I hope your day continues to go well. And I'm your host, Will Prophet.